The day I'm writing this is March 10th, 2024, and while this might be a normal day for the plebeians among us, for those who have had their brain opened by the power of the mustached Yahoo man, you know that today is Super Mario Day, baby! And to celebrate, Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto just announced a sequel to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, slated to release on April 3rd, 2026, and just so happens to be the topic of the video today. As some of you might recall, I was a big fan of the first Super Mario Bros. Movie and even attempted to make my own Nintendo Cinematic Universe, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're going to help Nintendo out and pre-plan the sequel to Super Mario Bros. Movie. Now let me lay some ground rules before we start. First off, I know that there are rumors that Nintendo and Illumination are planning a Nintendo Cinematic Universe of sorts, but that will not impact this video, as I will solely base this video off of continuing what was established in the first movie. Secondly, I'll not be making a full script for this sequel, but more like a general plot synopsis and some castings as well. I'll also highlight why I think specific actors or actresses should play certain roles. I'm not going to be giving a deep dive into analysis about why a certain actor would get a certain role. Finally, keep in mind that this will be my attempt to build off of the last movie. This means that my general goal here will be to take what was built in the first movie, build on that, while also adding some additional story elements here and there. I just wanted to get all that out of the way before jumping in. So to start, let's examine what we were left with after the first film, and how this will dictate how we move forward in the second film. So before we talk about the first movie in terms of future plot elements it laid the foundation for, let's talk about the cast who will likely return for the second movie. First, the actors and actresses who are going to return, because you can't do a sequel without them. Chris Pratt as Mario, Charlie Day as Luigi, Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek. Now, most of you are probably wondering why I didn't include Bowser in that list, and this is because I think Bowser will play a much smaller role in a sequel, considering where he was left at the end of the first movie, which is why I believe that the following actors or actresses might return, but they wouldn't be necessary in a sequel. Jack Black as Bowser, and Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if these two make a return in the sequel, but I don't think they're mandatory. Now, in terms of the plot, there are 5 major things that the first Mario movie ended with that we will keep in mind when planning the sequel. First, Mario and Luigi are now residents of the Mushroom Kingdom. As we saw in the very final shot of the film, Mario and Luigi relocated to the Mushroom Kingdom, but I would assume that they would still return to Brooklyn from time to time, as they're seen carrying their toolkit. This would also be good for business, since Mario and Luigi are now known as the heroes of Brooklyn. Secondly, we saw that Mario and Donkey Kong are allies now, if not outright friends. While Mario and DK fought during the film, their big team up at the end set the scene for friendship moving forward. And I also assume that friendly relations between the Mushroom Kingdom and Kong Island has blossomed since the events of the first film. Third, we saw that there were a ton of undiscovered or uninhabited places that could be traveled to via warp pipe or by simply traversing the terrain. This included the Dark Lands, the island with all of the Yoshis, and the desert area, just to name a few. I'm assuming that these places will be important and are potentially locations that we can explore in a sequel. Fourth, Bowser is captured in a shrunken state thanks to the blue mushroom and trapped in a jar at the end of the movie. Again, I'm not sure if Bowser will be a big part of the sequel, but just something to keep in mind. And finally, yes, the thing you've all been waiting for, the Yoshi egg. Yes, Yoshi's coming, we'll get there, don't worry, we will get there, I promise. So, these are the 5 things that we're going to keep in mind, and with that being said, let's jump into the first part of my pitch for the Super Mario Bros. Movie sequel. Act 1. Act 1 serves to reintroduce us to the characters that we met in the first movie. We see Mario and Luigi have been successfully operating their plumbing business in both the Mushroom Kingdom and New York. Peach has been entering peace talks with various other kingdoms, and has also been working to integrate the freed prisoners of Bowser into the Mushroom Kingdom. And the Kongs have been enjoying this time of peace following Bowser's downfall as well. While in New York for a plumbing job, Mayor Pauline asks the brothers to investigate a mysterious creature in the sewers. Pauline says that a few of her men have heard mysterious noises and are terrified to enter the sewers as a result. Mario and Luigi agree, with Luigi showing off his increased confidence after the first movie. This leads to the Mario brothers entering the sewer. Following the weird noise, and discovering the baby Yoshi that hatched from the egg in the post-credit scene of the first movie. Not knowing what the creature is, Mario and Luigi bring Yoshi back to Peach. This is also where we are introduced to the villain of the movie, Bowser Jr. We see him discussing plans with Kamek and the remnants of Bowser's army. Bowser Jr. mentions that he wants to get revenge on the Mushroom Kingdom, and Kamek assures him that the plan has been set in motion. Back in the Mushroom Kingdom, we see Peach, Toad, and DK, who's been called to help identify the mysterious creature, struggle to identify Yoshi. This is when Toad mentions that he thought he recognized Yoshi as a creature from his travel guide, and upon research, he discovers that Yoshis are creatures who used to live on an island, but are now native to the kingdom of Sarasaland. Upon learning this, Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, and DK decide to travel to Sarasaland and find Yoshi's family. Before we end off on the first act of the movie, let's discuss Yoshi's casting. One of the biggest debates I had when I was writing this was whether or not Yoshi would speak in the project, and I'm 99% sure he will speak, but in the event he doesn't and we just stick with him making your typical Yoshi noises, I think that D. Bradley Baker could do the trick, but if not, I believe that Bill Hader could make a great Yoshi. Hader has done many voiceover roles before, such as in Toy Story 4, Inside Out, MODOK, Bob's Burgers, and the Angry Birds movie, just to name a few. Hader also has a very unique vocal range, being able to make his voice incredibly squeaky, or high-pitched, or raspy on a moment's notice. I would absolutely love to hear his take on Yoshi's voice. I think he would do an excellent job in the role. Now, let's move on to Act 2. Act 2. The start of this act sees the group arrive in Sarasaland Kingdom, and we are shown the environment and introduced to the creatures that call the kingdom home. Corbrats, Shy Guys, Yoshis, Pokies, Pidgeots, and Ninjas. This is where we see the group split up. Peach and DK go to meet the king of Sarasaland Kingdom, King Wart, who the two know from their peace talks with the kingdom, while Mario, Luigi, and Toad are tasked with watching Yoshi. As Peach and DK leave, he watches Yoshi wanders off, as Mario, Luigi, and Toad go to find him. This is when the group encounters two mysterious gentlemen known as Wario and Waluigi. The townspeople cheer for Wario and Waluigi as they are known as the heroes of Sarasaland, and we watch as the three are defeated by the duo and hauled off to a Sarasaland prison. This is when we cut back to Peach and DK as they meet with Wart and his assistant Birdo. Wart seems friendly, but the audience is meant to feel sort of disturbed by his presence, as he seems to be unaware of the day-to-day operations of the kingdom, despite the fact that he's been quote-unquote in control for a rather substantial period of time. This is when we cut into the prison cell of Mario, Luigi, Toad, and a mysterious new character, Daisy. Daisy reveals that she is the rightful princess of Sarasaland, but was overthrown when Bowser Jr. sent Wart and his army to take over the kingdom. She reveals that Bowser Jr. has been building up an army in Sarasaland, told the townspeople that Wario and Waluigi are heroes who have performed many heroic acts, and has had Wart installed as the king. Will be launching a full-scale attack on the Mushroom Kingdom soon, with both Wart and Bowser Jr. teaming up to rescue Bowser. When Luigi asks why Wart is working with Bowser Jr., she reveals that it is because Bowser Jr. promised Wart rulership of the Mushroom Kingdom once Peach is defeated. We then cut back to Wart's castle as we see Wart, Wario, and Waluigi capture Peach and DK as Bowser Jr. makes himself known to the duo and tells Peach that she will show him where his father is being kept, where he will lay waste to the Mushroom Kingdom. We see DK escape and attempt to fight Wart, but he's defeated, as Wart is incredibly big and powerful. This leads to Wart announcing the full-scale launch of an invasion on the Mushroom Kingdom as the combined armies of Wart and Bowser Jr. head out. Now before we close out this act, let's talk about some castings. Okay, so for the castings, we need to cover Bowser Jr., King Wart, Birdo, Wario, Waluigi, and Princess Daisy. First, for Bowser Jr., I think that Tara Strong would be perfect in the role. Strong is arguably one of the best voice actresses on the planet, most known for her work as Timmy Turner from The Fairly OddParents, but also as Miss Minutes from Loki and Raven from Teen Titans Go, just to name a few. Strong's voice acting range makes her a no-brainer for this, and if she is available, Illumination would be absolutely crazy not to cast her. As for King Wart, let's bring in John Goodman for the part. Goodman has done a lot of live action performances, but his most notable voice acting role was Sully from Monsters Inc. I think that Wart should have a deep, bellowing voice and honestly should sound similar to Sully, which is the main reason why I think Goodman would be an excellent choice for the role. Up next is Birdo, and for Birdo, assuming that the character is given a speaking role, I think Rashida Jones would be my choice. Jones has voiced many smaller roles in projects such as Inside Out, The Simpsons, and The Grinch, and well, I think her voice is just a perfect contrast to Bill Hader as Yoshi, which we will see more of shortly. And in the alternative, I could just see Illumination going with Bill Hader voicing both Yoshi and Birdo, or whoever the actor or actress is that they have voicing Yoshi, but again, I could also see them hiring a different actor or actress to voice Birdo if she's included in the project. Now for Wario and Waluigi, I'm going to pair these two just for simplicity's sake, and go with the popular fan cast of Danny DeVito as Wario and William Dafoe as Waluigi. DeVito has done voice work before in Migration and The Lorax, while Dafoe's most recognizable voice role is probably Gil from Finding Nemo. I think that these two would be excellent for their role, as they would have great synergy with one another, which is something you need with two characters such as Wario and Waluigi, especially when they share a screen with Mario and Luigi. Lastly, I think Gillian Jacobs would be a great fit as Princess Daisy. Jacobs is from Community, but has also done voice roles such as Harley Quinn from Injustice and Eve from Invincible. I think that Jacobs has a ton of spunk, and that's exactly what we need from a person voicing Daisy. Now with this all being said, let's go ahead and finish off the story. Act 3. We resume our story of the combined forces of Bowser Jr. and Wart's army making their way to the Mushroom Kingdom as Mario, Luigi, and Toad attempt to break out, but are unable to. This is when Yoshi returns to rescue the heroes. We also see Yoshi's powers. He's able to defeat the guards and freeze Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Daisy. This is when Daisy informs the group that there is a weapons supply at the castle, and the group heads to the castle, reuniting with DK, and begins their journey to rescue Peach and save the Mushroom Kingdom. As the fight between the Toad Army and Bowser Jr.'s forces commence, watch as Mario's gang arrives on the scene, with Mario and Luigi flying into battle using their Tanuki suits, while Daisy, DK, Yoshi, and Toad fly in on a magic carpet that used to belong to a Pidgeot. This sets up a ton of final battles, as we see Yoshi take on Birdo, for they eventually become friends, Mario and Luigi versus Wario and Waluigi, and Donkey Kong, Toad, Peach, and Daisy versus King Wart. After the fighting is done, and it is clear that Bowser Jr. has been defeated, he pouts until Kamek returns, and transforms Bowser Jr. into a giant. He smashes through the castle as Mario attempts to leap at the monster before he is swatted away. While all believe Mario has been defeated, Mario emerges from the smoke on the battlefield riding Yoshi, and Mario and Yoshi fight against Bowser Jr., eventually defeating him as Mario lands a finishing blow that sends Bowser Jr., who has since returned to his normal size, flying into the sky. The forces of Bowser retreat as the Mushroom Kingdom is victorious once again. The ending shows Daisy taking back leadership as Princess of Sarasaland, and Mario and the others helping clean up the Mushroom Kingdom. Daisy also reveals that the Yoshis were displaced due to Bowser and his men, but thanks to Yoshi's aid, she'll be able to help Yoshi and his family find their island once again. The movie ends with Mario riding Yoshi, and he and Luigi heading to fix a broken pipe once again. Now, for the post-credits scene, I have 3 different options that I think they could take with it. First, we can show Bowser escaping from his bottle and returning to normal size and announcing he'll be back. I mean, I think this will be pretty straightforward. If he's not going to be in the second film, you know he's going to be in an eventual third film. I don't think it's a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Second, we could have Bowser Jr. awaken on some foreign planet. I did this at the very end to sort of potentially set up a sequel based on Super Mario Galaxy. I also think they will eventually do a Super Mario Galaxy themed project. There's so much potential with that specific game that I think they'd be crazy not to. So that's why I sort of set Bowser Jr. being punched up into space at the end. And finally, and I think this is the least likely, we could have somebody like King K. Rool or another Donkey Kong villain that sort of teases a Donkey Kong solo movie or something like that. Again, I really don't know what's going to happen, but there will be a post-credits scene, and I won't even attempt to predict what exactly Nintendo and Illumination have up their sleeves. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed my pitch for the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2. I really enjoy making pitches like this for new shows or series that are announced, so stick around if you want to see more of these in the future. Make sure to subscribe, join the Discord below, check out my One Piece and Marvel content if you are interested. But most importantly, enjoy your week and stay tuned for more.